Hey there, and welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm Barbara, your host for this episode of Butterfly Mobile Tutorial. And this is one of the butterflies that we have that I made. I am going to show you how I am going to make a butterfly mobile. The colors that I chose, I'm going to pick them up so that you can see all the colors together. These are all the butterflies that I have made. And so I did it in the Roy G. Biv type of theme. So I started with red and I just eased on through the colors. You know, they're not perfect, but they do go through red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So they do go through all of those colors. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 butterflies to put in this mobile. I have this ring. Let me see what size ring this is. I got this ring from Hobby Lobby. It is a 14-inch steel ring. At the time, it says $2.99 on it, $2.99. If you want to know how to make the butterflies, go back. It was one of the first tutorials that I made. I'm sorry, the color's kind of off on there because I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have lighting, but the tutorial is still good. The pattern is still spot on. So I hope that, you know, that it's not a hindrance to you with the color being kind of off a little bit on that tutorial. But anyway, maybe one day when I have a little free time, I'll redo the tutorial with a little better lighting and a better sound. So you'll need this ring. I'm using a 14-inch. You could also use a 12-inch because, to be honest with you, you are going to separate these out however you want to separate them out. You are going to make the length of these butterflies hang from this ring however long you want. Now, my goal is to start with red up here and then to slowly bring it around and down. So it's almost like a swirl. That's my goal. I am not perfection, so I'm not going to be measuring. I'm just going to do the best I can. And I know that it's going to be appreciated by the recipient, who will be my 2-year-old granddaughter for her birthday. So the other thing that you will need is some fishing line, because fishing line, while I find it very difficult to work with, it is also quite invisible. So when you're hanging your beautiful creations, whatever it might be, and let me tell you, you can do this for anything. If you like doing amigurumi and you have made these adorable jellyfish, you know, do that. Make a mobile with jellyfish. Make a mobile with cars. Make a mobile with, you know, whatever cartoon character you want. Make it yours. So, and make it to the theme of whatever child you're making it for. The other thing that I like to use are faceted beads. And so these I got from Hobby Lobby. And it's 110 beads, multicolor. The only thing I don't like about this is that it doesn't really give you a size, and I really wish it would, because then it would be so much easier to know. But it doesn't give me a size. So I have 3 bags of these. So I'm just gonna kind of, you know, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these, so let's find out. I've made one mobile so far, and that was a jellyfish mobile. And basically I did the jellyfish and, you know, and that was pretty much it. I did crochet around the ring, and I'll show you how I did that. I've got a different idea for this one. So Let's see what I do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make a slip knot. And you can make a slip knot however you like to make a slip knot is fine. Then we're going to take the edge of our ring, and we're going to, now this first one is a little tricky, but we're going to just loop it around. Whoop, told you it was tricky. And loop it around. So there we go. Now we have it started. And then we're just going to continue doing that. We're going to do a single crochet all the way around. Obviously it's easier to do if I put this on my lap, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Don't worry if there are gaps, because we will close those gaps up as we go along. You just want to make a single crochet all the way around. Whoop, what did I do? Oh, I think I did a double crochet. You just want to do a single crochet all the way around. There we go. Until we're all at the very end. We want to tighten this up at the end, and we're going to go all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get back here and we'll go over what we do from there. So what I've done is I've taken the ring and I've rested it on my leg, which makes it easier for me, and I just go around. And as you can see, I'm still working on the ring. I have about halfway down. If you squish it together, maybe not quite, maybe just quite half. But I'm going to still work on it, keep working on it. It feels tricky, but it's not. Now, once you get this done, you can stop, and that will be all that you need to do. Or, if you want to try something like I'm going to try, I'm actually going to go another round using this edge part. And I'm going to try and crochet a cloud looking thing. So we'll see. I'll show you what I do. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. I don't even know exactly what I'm going to do yet, so I may not like it either. But I just thought, since I'm doing the white, and since it's butterflies, I may as well make the ring look like a little cloud. That's what I'm doing. So keep on crocheting till you get to the end of the round of your ring, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I made it to the end. I have just a little tiny space here. What you want to do before you connect is make sure that the crochet part, the little edge part, is straight. And if you see, this one goes this way and then it goes down. So we want to make sure that it's not twisted. And if you'll see here, it's twisted. So what I'm going to do is go from this edge, and I'm just going to straighten it out all the way around, so that when I connect it, I will make sure, yeah, and see this was all twisted. I'm going to make sure that it is not twisted. Okay, so it's all straight. Now what I'm going to do is insert my hook, and let's make sure it's not twisted. And I'm going to go into that first single crochet. I'm going to skip this little hole right here, I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to go into this stitch right here. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to go into this one. Okay. And I'm sorry if that was hard to see. I know sometimes white is hard to see, black is hard to see, if it's too light, if it's too dark. Okay, so I have my hook, and I'm going to slip stitch into that crochet, and I'm going to pull it through. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 1 more. So the 3 represents a double crochet, and the 4th chain represents a chain. I'm going to skip the next one, and I'm going to double crochet in that next one. Chain 1, skip the next, and double crochet in the next stitch. So what we're doing is double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet, chain 1 in the next stitch. So we're going to have a wheel looking. Do you see that? You see how that's going to look like a wheel? And that's what we're going to do all the way around. Sometimes it'll be a little bit difficult to get that hook in there, depending on how tight that was on your ring, but just do the best you can. We're making clouds, so, you know, clouds are not perfect. Clouds take on the shape of a whole lot of things, so we're not worried about perfection here. This is going to be hanging from the ceiling in your child's room, and so this is going to be the basis of the clouds. So we're going to use this, and then what we're going to do in the next round is just make fluffy clouds going all the way around, or at least that's my goal. So like I said, I'm making this up as we go, but I really like it so far. I had this vision in my head, and I wanted to share it with you. The thing about this is it doesn't seem hard. It's not difficult, but oh, it's time consuming. Very time consuming. So be patient. If your hands start hurting, give yourself a break. Don't feel like, oh, I have to rush. You know, and sometimes when I do this, I only get 1 strand, and if that's all I can get, well, then that's all I can get. But I really try to get 2 strands for consistency's sake. But we always just do our best, don't we? Okay. Now, we did not count the stitches as we went around because we were just going to, you know, make this to where it would, you know, cover the ring. So the thing is, if you get to the end and you find out, oh, you know, I have an extra stitch or I'm short a stitch, don't stress about it. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to care. Remember, this is art, and it's not science, it's art. And so we are going to make this our own. Here's the thing. If you wanted to do this in a different color, what if you wanted to do this in green to make it look like a tree, and then you wanted to attach flowers? You could do that. What if you wanted to make this blue to look like the sky? And then you could crochet little clouds and attach those. You could do that. This is yours. I'm just showing you the basic, how I do it. Like I said, this is only my second one. I'm sure this one is different than the first one that I did, because the first one that I did was for an under the sea, and it had jellyfish. And, you know, I just did the one around in blue to represent the sea, and I was done. This one, I'm getting a little tiny bit more elaborate on. So, really, it is how elaborate you want to go, how much time you have. That's important, because this is not difficult, but it takes time. So if you're in a rush, just stop with that first row of white. When those butterflies start fluttering, your child is going to be so excited. They are not going to look at that ring and say, why only one row? No, they're not going to do that. Not at all. So you see how slow I'm going, because it is slow going. It's kind of hurting my hands a little bit, but I do have hand trouble. So I have to be careful. But it's not too bad. Not too bad. And I feel like I'm, a third of the way there. So that's encouraging. A little bit for me. Kind of looks like a crown. Look at that. I don't know if you can see. See this way. See how it kind of looks like a crown a little bit? Yeah, I'm liking it. Liking it a lot. It's one way to use up your Red Heart Super Saver. It's a little tougher yarn, so I don't feel bad about using it for amigurumi, really, if it's something that is not going to go, you know, next to a baby's skin, or it's going to be a tough played with toy, then, you know, I feel pretty good about that. Of course, I like the softer yarn, obviously, for many different reasons, but I'm making progress. I hope you're making progress too. So I'm going to keep going, and you keep going too. And how about let's meet at the end and we'll decide what we're going to do from there. Okay? Okay, I'm at the end. I have double crocheted in my last stitch available, and I did one chain. So I feel like I have some fiber on my lip. So I did a double crochet and chain one. Now I'm going to connect to this first chain 3. Now remember, we did chain 3 and then we did one extra chain that represented the chain between each of these double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to slip stitch into that third chain, slip stitch, and now I'm connected. Okay, now for this project, it's going to be adorable. I worked it out while I was off camera, and I am so pleased with how it's turning out, because it's going to be gorgeous. It represents clouds and it represents princess tiaras, and I just think it's gorgeous. You know, when I started this, I really didn't know how I was going to make this work. It just came to me. As I saw this, I saw a tiara, and it just built from there. So let me share with you what we're going to do. We are going to work in all the loops. So no more working into chains. We're going to be working in the loops, which will make it so much easier. So breathe a sigh of relief for that. What we're going to do, we connected. We're going to go into that next loop, and we are going to slip stitch just to get our work in that loop. Okay, now what we're going to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to do 4 double crochets in that same loop. 1, and this I'm going to put this down just a little bit so that I can work on it that way. 2, and you want to work from the outside. 3 and 4. Don't work from the inside, work from the outside. Okay, so I have my chain 3 and I have 4 double crochets. So I'm going to pull up a loop. Okay, take my hook out. I'm going to find the top of that chain 3 and I'm going to stick my hook in there. Okay, I'm going to stick my hook in there, and then I'm going to loop through that first last, excuse me, loop, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through both loops. And from my angle, it's going to make a popcorn stitch. Does not want to show up very well, and I apologize for that. So you've done a popcorn stitch. For the future, a popcorn stitch consists of 5 double crochets. Pull your loop up a little bit on that last double crochet, just so you don't lose the loop. Take out your hook. Insert your hook into the top of the first double crochet and into the loop of the last double crochet. Tighten the loop a little bit and then slip stitch through so that you have a little puff, a little popcorn. If you need to, you push it out, and the popcorn should be coming out on the outside. Okay, and then what you're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then you're going to skip okay, that's good. Skip 1 space, and then you're going to single crochet in the second space from your popcorn. Single crochet. Okay, and once you do that, then you're going to want to take your finger and kind of push your popcorn out towards you a little bit. Okay, so we have done a popcorn stitch, which this first one consisted of chain 3, 4 double crochets. We loop them together, and then we chain 2, skip a space, single crochet in the next space, and that's where we are. Okay, that's where we are. So we have single crocheted into the second space from the popcorn. So I'm going to turn this around so that you can see it from this way. Okay, so this is the popcorn. There's a space, and then we did a single crochet right in there. Okay, now what we're going to do, we are going to triple crochet, and we are going to skip where we double crocheted in this space. We're going to skip the next 2 spaces, and in the third space from our double crochet, we are going to put 8 triple crochets in that third space. So skip 2 spaces, 8 triple crochets in that third space. A triple crochet, yarn over twice, go into the loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. The way I remember a triple crochet is that I yarn over and pull through 2 loops 3 times. That means I have triple crocheted. That's how I remember. Okay, so I have my first one, and I'm going to do 7 more in that space. So I have a total of 8 triple crochets in that space. I know it sounds like a lot, but you're going to just really love it when you see the result. We're going to do this all the way around this pattern. Popcorn and 8 triple crochets all the way around. Let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 2 more. Okay, so I have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triple crochets. And then what I'm going to do after I do the 8 triple crochets, I am going to skip 2 spaces. And in the 3rd space, I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay. And after you do that single crochet in the 3rd space from your treble crochets, you'll see that you have this pattern starting. Let me see if I can. There we go. Let me see if that helps. Oh yes, that helps a lot. Doesn't help. It does help a lot. So we have a little fan going and we have a popcorn. Okay, so we have the last move that we did was a single crochet in the 3rd space from where you did your 8 treble crochets or triple crochets. Okay, now we're going to start all over from the beginning. The only difference is that instead of doing a chain 3 and 4 double crochets, we're going to do 5 double crochets. So we're going to skip the next space and we're going to do 5 double crochets in the next space. Three, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 double crochets. I'm going to pull up the loop. I'm going to find, let's see, I'm going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to find this one, the first, the top of that double crochet. I'm going to put the loop over. I'm going to pull it a little bit, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. Oh, darn it. Okay, let me fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, okay, there's 5. I was trying to show you and it slipped out, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, so I'm making my popcorn, slip stitch, chain 2, okay, so the next move is to make another fan, another 8 treble crochet. So we did our popcorn, we chained 2. Okay, did our popcorn, chain 2, skip one space, single crochet in the next space, and that just anchors it down. Make sure you puffs up. Your popcorn puffs up. Then you're going to treble crochet in the third space from your single crochet. So skip 2 and do 8 treble crochet or triple crochet in that third space from where you're working. And I'm going to put this down. It's easier for me to crochet this way, so I apologize if you are not able to see it that well. So I have 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay, I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 treble crochets, triple crochets, and then single crochet in the third space from the hook. So we single crocheted, and then we did this 8 triple crochet in the third space from the single crochet. So it only stands to reason that we are going to space this next single crochet evenly. So 1, 2, 3, single crochet. Okay. Now, the next move that we're going to do is we are going to skip this next space, and we are going to do 5 double crochets in the second space from our work, which we will make a popcorn in that one. So double crochet, skip 1 space, go into the second space, and do 5 double crochet. Pull up a loop, put your hook into the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the top of the first double crochet, bring your hook around and hook into that loop, pull it tight, and slip stitch both, chain 2, skip 1 space, single crochet in the second space from your work, and push that popcorn out towards you. Can you see that? Let me fix this popcorn. Do you see how it's making like a crown? It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and keep working with you and keep the camera rolling, because I am easily confused about what to do next, and I do have it written down in front of me, and I keep consulting it, but I want to be there with you while you do this, if that's okay. If it's not, fast forward me, okay? All right. Okay, because this is really so pretty. Oh my gosh. And to think, about 30 minutes ago, I came up with this pattern. Oh, I'm so excited about it. I really am. I really am. Okay, so we're on our popcorn. We did our chain 2, and then we skipped a space. We did a single crochet in the second space. Okay, So now what we're going to do is triple crochet in the third space away from our work. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, third space, do 8 triple crochets. This, I got to be honest with you guys, this is prettier than I imagined. When I thought that I was going to do this tutorial, I was thinking that I would do very similar to what I did for that little boy, baby boy mobile with the jellyfish. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I really thought I was going to make this top just very plain and do, you know, a single crochet just to cover the you know, the metal ring. I didn't know that I would come up with this idea, and I am just so pleased with it, and I'm so excited because I think that the little girl in my life, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, is going to really enjoy this in her room. And there's 8. Okay, so I just did 8 triple crochets in that space. So now I am going to skip 2, 1, 2, and in the third space from my work, I am going to single crochet. Okay. Now from there, I'm going to skip 1 and do 5 double crochets in the next stitch. That will be the popcorn stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull up a loop. Go into, let me back it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, go into the top loop of that first double crochet, put your hook into the loop, and slip stitch into both. Chain 2, skip 1, double crochet, single crochet, excuse me, into the second loop from the hook. Push that popcorn out, and we can arrange these once we get done as well. Oh, it's looking so pretty. Okay, so we have a single crochet. We are going to triple crochet in the third space from our work. Yarn over twice, triple crochet 8 times. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more to go. I love being creative, and I love not following pattern. I have to tell you, I do like following a pattern, because especially if it's complicated and I know what I'm doing, I like following patterns, and I do follow patterns. But oh, when I can do a project and I can do it all on my own and I don't follow a pattern, or I start using my creativity to make something like this gorgeous crown that is coming to life. Oh yeah, I am excited. I am almost halfway done, not quite. So Okay, skip 2 and single crochet into the 3rd loop from your work. After that, 8 treble crochet, and then we're going to 5 double crochet in the 2nd, double, not a treble, 5 double crochet in the 2nd space from your fan, from your shell. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pull up a loop, go into the top of that first double crochet, go into the loop, and then I'm going to slip stitch through both. And chain 2. Okay, skip 1 space, go into the 2nd space and single crochet. Push that popcorn to the front. Okay, now I'm going to do 8 treble crochet in the 3rd space from my work. Treble. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven and 8. Okay. All right. Single crochet in the 3rd space from your hook. 5 double crochets in the 2nd space from your hook. Pull up a loop, insert your hook into the top of the first and into the loop, and join. Chain 2, 8 treble crochets, triple crochets in the 3rd space from your work. Now, if you didn't think that this 8 treble crochets was enough, if you wanted to do 9, that would be fine. That would be fine. Just make it a little bit more full. And actually, I think probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably having an odd number is a good idea. I just came up with 8. It fit, it worked, so that's what I went with. And I still am pretty pleased with it. But if you wanted to do 9, that would be fine. Okay, so I have 8 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to skip 2 spaces, and in the 3rd space, I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to skip a space, and in the 2nd space, I'm going to do 5 double crochets. Are you getting the pattern yet? 4, and 5. Make your popcorn. Slip stitch. I probably find that the hardest. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to pull that stitch through, but I like the way this looks. Chain 2. Okay. Then I'm going to skip 1 space and double crochet in this 2nd space. I'm going to pop my popcorn out, make sure it pops out. Okay. Then in the 3rd space from my work, I'm going to do 8 triple crochets. And then from that, I'm going to, in the 3rd space from the work, do a single crochet. So do 8 triple crochets in the 3rd space from your work right now, and then continue that pattern. I'm almost to the end, so I'm going to turn us off. Go ahead and keep following the pattern, and I'll meet you at the end. So I just had just enough space to do an 8 treble, and then I didn't have 1, 2, 3 spaces, but I did have, my 3rd space was where the popcorn started, so I just went ahead and slip stitched this to the popcorn. You make it work, because for one thing, we didn't count how many stitches we did. We just made it until we felt like it was full enough. And then with our pattern, you know, we didn't count. So it is what it is. It's just going to be a happy little cloud. Clouds aren't perfect, and so I'm not going to worry about this. But I'm slip stitching, and then I'm actually going to turn it to the back a little bit, and I'm going to tie it off in the back here. I'm going to slip stitch to one of the stitches in the back, do a 2nd slip stitch, and then do a chain and pull it up. And then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave a long one because I'm just going to go ahead and weave that in however I can. So here I have my top, and you know, you can adjust these and make them look pretty. Adjust your popcorn, adjust the little fans on the top. But how adorable is that? Your child is going to love that. So now all we have to do is take our fishing line. I'm like, where did it go? All we have to do is take our fishing line and tie randomly around, and then attach our butterflies, our sweet 3D butterflies. And then as they hang, at various lengths, we are going to just enjoy our little butterfly mobile. So what I do is I decide, I make them really long, and then I tie the tops. I make them long enough so that they're long. I tie the top as best I can, and I triple and quadruple tie it. The last time I made one, I actually ended up using a little bit of glue, clear glue, and just touched right at that knot, because I was really afraid that it was going to come undone somehow. If anybody knows a secret to tying fishing line, maybe a fisherman can help, you know, that would be really great. But I'm not that crafty. I just tied a knot the way I know how to tie a knot. So tie it in various lengths, and then tie your butterflies on at varying lengths all the way around. If you have these faceted beads, you can also add those either to the fishing line that connects to your butterfly, or you can do separate lines and do them in between with these faceted beads, because they really are very pretty and they shine and shimmer, and I really like that. I like anything that shines or shimmers. I'm going to cut this a little bit. Probably have beads everywhere. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. So, you know, there's all different colors, including white, and they're really easy to thread if you have your glasses on. Oh good, that one went through. And so it just, do you see the little shimmer and shine? It just allows a little bit of shimmer and shine. And yeah, I don't have my glasses on. Oh boy. This is why this part is the challenge for me. And then, you know, you can just add different beads, and that's what makes it special. This is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love. Okay, so how I'm going to do the chain is I'm going to actually do four of these to connect. And so what I'm going to do, what I did with this one is I chained 45, and then I chained one more. I went back and did a single crochet, and then I chained 45 more. So I'm going to show you what I did. So in the middle of this chain is a little V, a little top. Can you see that? And so I'm going to make one set here and another set, and then I'm going to connect them at the top. So I'm going to do a slip knot and chain 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So now what I'm going to do is chain one more, and then I'm going to go back into that 45th chain and single crochet. So that has in effect made a little V. And then I'm going to chain 45 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 45, and then I chain one more so that I can pull the loop through. And I leave kind of a long loop because I am going to tie this to my end. So I have 2 loops that I'm going to connect, and I will connect those. And so see, they're going to go down like this at an angle, and I'm going to connect those once I do the final chain up and then make a loop, because I don't want this to be so high that my little one can't even see, you know, the mobile. She's 2. She's not going to get hurt with this mobile. So it's not like she's an infant that I have to worry about her, you know, getting choked or putting things in her mouth. And so these are just going to be connecting. So what I'm going to do is in the middle of this fan, this loop right here, I'm going to separate it out. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to insert my hook just so that I can pull it through. Because I'm not in that loop, I'm actually in the stitch on the chain. And I'm going to pull this one through because I want this to be from the inside. So I'm going to pull this through if I can. Okay, good. So I have pulled that through. Now I'm going to bring this around, and into the inside I'm going to tie. And I am just going to tie a knot as best I can on the inside. And I'm going to tie it several times, as tight as I can. Because I don't want this coming loose. Nothing worse than giving a gift and then having it fall apart. So I honestly have tied this probably too many times, but it's not coming apart. Okay, so this one is good. And I have, let's see, we are going to, let's see, we have this and that, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the, I'm just measuring equally on mine. So I have decided that 1, 2, 3, and this is the one that I am going to attach it to. I'm going to move this one over. So this is the one I'm going to attach it to. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in underneath there and pull this through as best I can, and then pull this through and around, and I'm going to tie it again. So I am just tying a regular knot, several times so that it is nice and tight. I'm probably doing overkill, like I said, but nothing is worse than having your crochet project that you've given to someone come apart. I really don't want that. So, whew, don't pull too hard. Okay. All right, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have all 4 of these connected like this. And now what I need to do, kind of looks like a little carousel, doesn't it? And of course at the end you're going to make sure that you straighten up your crown. But for right now, I need to weave in some of the ends. So I'm going to get my needle, my little trusty needle, and I'm going to try and not get a real thick one. Oh no, I dropped one. Okay, I have to be careful when I get up. Make sure I don't step on it. So I've got a needle, and where I connected these, I'm going to take that string and put it in the needle, and I'm just going to go along the edge of the wire. I'm going to kind of bend this down a little bit and just go along the edge of the wire to tuck this in so that I can cut it off. So let's see if I can get that through. Oh yeah, you start and then you can kind of get it through a little bit. Not that easy, but it's doable. There we go. There we go. And the rule of thumb is if you have woven it in 3 times, it should stay. So I want to go back and forth 3 times, and I'm actually going to go past where I connected on either side. And you know what? It's not that easy, but do your best, okay? It's not that easy, but do your best. So that's 2. And then I'm going to go back again. And the reason it's not easy, and it's a good reason, it's because the single crochet is tight to the wire, which is a good thing, because that's going to help secure this as well. So get that through 3 times. There we go. Okay, so there we go, 3 times. And now I'm going to trim that really close, and that is not going anywhere because it was pretty tough to go through. So I am going to save this, the rest of this, for off camera, but you get the idea. So once you weave in your ends, then you are going to take the top loop of each of these and you are going to connect your yarn. So I'm going to do a slip knot, okay, and then I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to go into that top loop right there, and I'm going to pull this up to where I feel like it is not twisted, and I'm going to, let's see, slip into the top loop here. There we go. And I'm just going to attach and slip through all 3 loops. There we go. And then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh goodness, 15, let's see. Oh, isn't that pretty? It reminds me of a carousel as well. I like that. Okay, so that was 15. I think I'm going to go another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then maybe 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to make a loop, and my loop is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see, 6. Yeah. So my loop is going to be 6. I've held my thumb and finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've held my finger where I stopped, and the 6 chain is going to be the loop. So then I'm going to go back into that first chain, or the chain that I was holding, and I'm going to do a single crochet, and then I'm going to do a single crochet all the way down, this top chain. Until I get back down to where the connection is. And then I will fasten off, weave in my ends, weave in the rest of the ends, and this part will be done. The next part, attach the mobile and the butterflies. Okay, so we've got this. Into the top of that one, into the top of this one, because I want to strengthen that. So when I get down to the bottom of this chain, I went back through the top of this V and this V to strengthen it. So I went through both, and I'm going to slip knot through, and then I'm going to fasten off, because I want to make sure that that is strong. So I'm going to leave a nice long tail, just because I want to make sure that that is fastened off properly. So that is strong. This is really awesome. Look at that. So pretty. And then this loop was 6 chains. It's perfect, because then if you hang one of those little hanging hooks from your ceiling, no matter how thick or thin that hanging loop or that hanging hook is, this loop will go over it very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and weave in my ends, and the next step is to attach the butterflies. Okay, so as you can see right now, I have beads everywhere. Well, I am currently tying, I have some amber beads. They kind of look brown, I'm sure. on the camera, but I have some amber beads. I tried to use up all the different colors, and all I did was string up my beads on the fishing line, and then I tied it underneath the popcorn, and I slipped it into the stitch right underneath the popcorn, the stitch that was the original single crochet that was around the wire, because I didn't want it to alter the crochet in any way. So I have probably, in all of these, I've made probably about 10 knots, only because, you know, I'm not a knot person. I'm a crochet person. And so making knots in this fishing line really is rough on my hands, and I honestly don't enjoy it. But I also don't want it to fall apart. So far I have all of them on there hanging except for one. And I need to put one more. Let me see where it is. Right here. Okay, so I am going to, kind of ran out of some colors because these beads did not all want to go in to my my needle that I was using. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just taking some fishing line. I'm going to cut a little strand. I'm not measuring. I'm just using my imagination. I put this in. See, this is the tough part for me, finding, because I'm not very good at that. So I put both ends together, and I let the bead go to the middle. So I have like a double. I don't know if you can see that or not. See that double? And then what I've been doing is just tying a knot and tying it twice, just a normal knot. And I give it a little tug, and then I tie another knot. And then I feed this double thread of fishing line and go up and treat it like thread. I fold it over and make it come to a little point so that I can get it into the eye of my needle. Watch me not be able to do it with you watching, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, there we go. So I have the fishing line in my needle, and now I am going to thread some of these beads. Now I'm down to using white. Now see, that one is stuck. At the beginning, I fought with them, and I really hurt my fingers. Now, if they don't work, I just throw them back down, because I got one bead stuck on the needle, and I thought I was never going to get it off. So if it gives me any trouble at all, I just throw it down. And I'm sorry that I'm down to the clear ones, and I know that they're probably hard to see, but I'm going to show you when I get them done. I'm going to put as many on there as I can, as many as what will fit on this needle. And the reason I'm using the needle, to be honest with you, is because it's easier on me. My eyes are not that great, and so when I'm trying to thread that fishing line, let me see if I have any more clear ones that will fit. Probably not. That was probably it. Yep, that was probably it. So if you'll see, I have that many of the clear ones left. The rest of them did not fit. I have some of these, but these are, yeah, those weren't fitting either. And I tried all of these these were really kind of cool because they're kind of a champagne color. They're not really yellow, but see, all of them, every single one of them got stuck on the needle right there. So that was the end of that story. So now what I'm going to do is take this, and I have one last section to thread, and here's my popcorn, and I'm just going to go in under the popcorn and through right next to the wire. I'm going to pull this through and then go back through one more time, and then I'm going to start tying. And when I tie, let me see, I just want to see where it is. Okay, maybe I can come up just a little bit. There we go. And when I tie, I've been tying from the inside so that the knots will go more to the inside. I really don't want the knots to be showing, you know, on the outside. Now, obviously, the knots are showing on the inside. I'm hoping that they don't come loose because that would be really, really bad. But I'm tying it about 10 times. And then some of them I did weave in and out like you would your yarn, but not all of them because I got a little impatient with these beads and with this fishing line. So fishing line is not my friend. So what's going on here? I don't know. Did I lose a line? What happened? I think I lost a line. Don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna keep tying. There we go. I see there's a double there. Okay. Keep tying until I feel like it is snug enough. And if the indentations in my fingers say anything, they say, yes, it's tight enough, but you know, you just never know. And with that last one, I used hot glue gun. And this one, I just haven't brought it out. But feel free. Use your own technique. If you have a better one, go for it. I am not an expert here. As you can see, I'm not an expert. So that was my last one. I'm going to give it a little clip. And so I have all of the beads on. The beads are on. Now all I have to do is attach the butterflies. And I think I'm going to do this. There we go. Do that one more time. There we go. So, and then of course, you know, after you get it all done, you're going to straighten this up. You can even use a little bit of starch if you want to make sure that this stays, you know, nice and pretty. But obviously, if you straighten it and then you hang it, you are going to just have a good old time with that. So these beads look really cool. Now it's time to hang the butterflies. I'm going to move all of these beads over. Get on over there, beads. There we go. And I'll show you. I'm going to attach the butterflies in the same way. So I will attach this first one just to give you an idea. And it's so pretty. I mean, really, it's just, it's not rocket science. So I don't even really know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm just going to go through the top here somehow. Let's see if I can get that through without a needle. Nope. Let me do this. Alrighty. Because I want to make sure that they have freedom. There we go. I like that. Okay. So I just pulled that through. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the beads. I'm going to allow this to go to the middle. I'm going to hold the ends together, allow this to go to the middle, and then I'm going to give it just a little knot. Not quite as tight because I don't want it to alter the look of the crochet. Whereas, you know, the beads didn't really matter. So I'm going to do this and got to be careful too, because you don't want to make your butterfly go sideways either. Okay, and obviously when you're done, you can make it look pretty. So I think I'm going to put this one. This one has pink and red. So I'm going to hang this one right here. And I think I'm going to use the same technique, using my needle and going through. And then now for these, I'm going to go right underneath the shell. So I'm going to go right underneath the shell. And go through. And I'm hanging these in just randomly because I realized that with the beads, having butterflies in a random order is better than having them in a spiral. If I just did the butterfly, I think the spiral would work really well. Because that would be the focus, would be the spiral of the butterfly. But with these beads, adding an extra sparkle and zhuzh, I am just going to do these butterflies in random lengths. But I'm going to try and keep that Roy G. Biv order to them. And man, this is going to be pretty when it's all done. I can't wait to see it. So, I hope you have as much fun as I have making this mobile. I'm going to continue adding my butterflies until it's done and until I have my thing of beauty. And of course we want to make sure that we straighten out our butterflies, but there we go. There's the butterfly hanging. And of course when we get more hanging with all of the beads, it's going to be so pretty. So pretty. And I love the way it just spins and goes any which way. I hope you enjoy making this.